Hey guys, okay, so as it turns out, I am getting some heat on social media about a post that I made yesterday about some similarities in the song with Will Smith and Sean Paul, Light 'Em Up, and the Major Lazer Nyla Fuse ODG Light It Up song. So I just wanted to address that because I see a lot of comments, and that's fine. I will take the heat. But I just want to say, as a writer and as a creator, when you hear similarities, and not just one similarity, but you hear, in the one, the title, two, the cadence, the rhythm, how it's positioned in the song, it kind of piques your ear and you say, well, that seems to be inspired by a song that you wrote previously. And as a creator and as somebody in the music industry, music is shared in the industry, especially if you're signed to the same label. There are all these things, these inner workings and behind the scenes situations that the layperson or the regular just listener is not going to be privy to. Am I saying that I think Sean Paul, our beloved Sean Paul, was the person? I don't think so. I think Sean actually just did his verse in the studio as they asked him to. Hi guys, so I just wanted to add my 2 cents really quickly. I know my sister had made a post about Sean Paul's latest song on the Bad Boy soundtrack. His song goes Light 'Em Up, and she was talking about there are similarities with her song, which is called Light It Up. And I think that there is a similarity. I really honestly heard it, and I do think there's a similarity in the cadence, light it up, and the melody, light 'em up. He goes light 'em up, and she goes light it up. So there is a similarity. And what I just wanted to remind you guys is that yes, this is our livelihood, and sometimes as an artist, as a writer, we can unconsciously use a melody that's similar to somebody else's song, not even know it, you know what I mean? And I feel like as a writer also, I think, yes, we have the right to express it if we hear something, you know what I mean? Obviously, Sean Paul is a legend. We love Sean Paul so freaking much. Love and respect to Sean for everything he has done for our community, and just him as an artist and everything he's been able to accomplish. He's a giant and we love him so much. But I think I just wanted to remind you guys that we as writers, you know what I mean? Yeah, we're not a big fish in the game, but we do have a right to express it when we hear something that sounds similar to our song. That, you know what I mean? It's like, we don't want to feel bullied, or people don't need to be mean about it. It doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, it's up to the courts to decide.
Jody, Sean Paul's wife, then went live. Where she at? This to say.
Nyla, I'm not gonna diss you. I'm not gonna diss you. My millennial growing up, I danced to your bops. I still love them now. I think that you and your sister are very talented. And even though, we don't hear, like, you're not only a good singer, but you're also a good songwriter. So I'm not gonna sit here and diss you. What I'm upset about, which is what I've always championed for, right? If you diss my husband, I am going to comment. If you diss me, I couldn't give 2 shits. It's fine. Here's a problem that I have, right? Mm-hmm. You and Sean are friends. You and Sean have worked together. You have Sean's number. And if you had a problem, you could have called him and you could have said, Sean, this sounds like familiar to me, I'm going to go and I'm going to say, I'm going to go and I'm going to get my musicologist and see where this is going.
As one of the comments said, you could have hashed it out at Cafe Blue.
My favorite comment. My favorite comment. But you didn't do that. Instead, you went onto your veranda, right? And you said, oh, I have the tea. What tea, Nyla? What tea? Why is this tea? Why is this an argument? What tea? When you come and you start about your tea and you're carrying on and whatever, that means it's an argument you want. Sean is not going to give you an argument.
And has never.
That is not how my husband is. That's why him sending Bulldog online for go represent him.
Girl,
right?
let me see the Muslim. Yeah, girl,
right?
do that.
He's not going to say anything to you. As a matter of fact, it was him that called you. And you guys spoke, right? And then further to you took down your post, but then Sleek caught on to it, right? And Sleek post. And then you can see 98% of the comments, persons don't hear it. But yet under those comments, you wanted to reply to me. Girl, ice this. I take my this, I'm sit down. What you need to do too is look at all the comments and realize you need to sit down as well. So
No, but
let's talk about it.
So let's talk about it, because her comment to you is actually quite rude. She says that she said to you how you've never worked for anything in your whole entire life.
I don't think that's what she said. I think she was meaning, I can't quote her, Tracy, because I read it so long ago. I think she was talking about I was defending the song in which I had nothing to do with, and I did not work on the song. So yes, you're correct, Nyla. I didn't, right? I work on my husband, so I'm going to defend him. Because he's not going to say anything to you. I will. However, I'm not going to diss you, Nyla. As I said, you have a lot of talent and I like your music, right?
But anyways.
So moving on. If you want to compare anything, I'm not sure how you hear the two things sound alike. They don't. It's not the same groove, right? It's not in the same key. All right? It's not the same speed. You have two similarities. You have the word light and you have the word up. They're not even, the three words are not even in the same, they're not, the two words aren't even together, right? So I'm not, all right, please, we're not arguing with Nyla, we're not fighting with her, and we're not dissing her, we're not dissing her. No, we're not going to diss her, it is not necessary, right? But, Nyla, okay, no problem. You want to go, you want to say to rip, you want to say the light them up and the light stuff, you want to say that there's so many similarities, okay, Nyla, then by that accord, you have royalties to pay to Justin Timberlake and to Timbaland for your song, Cry Me a River, 'Cause Your Love Is Wicked. Isn't that, so by your accord.
Let's address the elephant in the room with no long talking. This situation with Brick and Lace claiming that Sean Paul somehow breached or infringed on their own copyright is ridiculous. And it's a far reach to try to maintain relevance. Now, let me not take it from these girls. Brick and Lace have already carved a path for themselves and have been very good representatives and ambassadors of the music throughout Africa, Europe, and North America. But as they say, water settles where it may. It's a different generation and a different time. And if you want to be relevant, come again with something that makes you relevant. But don't try to reach for relevancy. Because if anybody go listen to the video now, up to right now, Sean Paul don't say light him up one single time. So if you have an issue, don't make it Sean Paul, but make it with Will Smith. And try to approach Will Smith. Why should Sean Paul be the stepping stone to you now trying to find relevancy in the biggest movie of the summer? Now, let's go back to the table. You say, I realize that there's a very disturbing pattern in music, and I've been in this music industry for almost 3 decades this year. And I can tell you one thing that I see. The people them that fight Jamaican artists the most when we are about to get on height is our own people and Black American artists. If you look, not going on for hip-hop right now, you know, not going on for black urban music, you know. But if you look, Ice Spice step out and use Sean Paul, all of a sudden you can't see Ice Spice. Sean Paul decided to step out and he's doing sold-out tours, all of a sudden he's the Jamaican Drake. And Americans are trying to put their perspective and reflective of colorism and culturalism onto us. Don't do it. And don't participate in it, girls. Because you girls from Brick and Lace are two girls I have so much love and respect for. And this is completely unnecessary. Because light him up, you can't own that. We know someone did do the big tune. We know one did write it. But that don't mean that we are going to keep you in relevancy. You're great writers. Come out with another hit song. Brother, one did have some song, you see. And we need on a back. So rather than hold on to Sean Paul's curtail, Brick and Lace, come out with some hits, because we know you have them. You don't need to hold on to Sean Paul's curtail to find relevancy. Come with the hits. It's Leng. I'm out.